Hello and welcome to the first check-in for Taming the Perilous Skies 100 Days Until Launch. Hopefully you caught our introduction interview yesterday where we covered what the objectives are of this 100-day docuseries that we're creating. And so there's an overall arc where, as a debut author, I hope to share some insights, some fears, the confusion and questions I have about this whole thing. And I hope for you debut authors out there, this might be instructive. I think I've learned a few things along the way, but I want to be very clear. I've never done this before either. So we're going on this journey together. And since yesterday was the kickoff and it was 100 days until launch, that makes today 99 days until launch. And so I need to get my butt in gear. So what have I been doing? I signed a contract for marketing today. And so that was put on a credit card. At least it'll get me some miles, I guess, if nothing else. And I am creating a newsletter. I'm setting up a newsletter and putting that on my website. And I am revising chapter 45 out of 50. And so, yeah, I'm still working on it. I believe in fluidity. I really don't believe anything has to be truly done. And so I'm just going to continue to improve it. But in the arc of this particular docuseries, and this being 99 days now until launch, I wanted to stick with the first week theme of motivations and influences, goals and fears, and talk about motivations. So, motivations. And so what are yours? I've had to come back and remember who I am throughout this entire process and retouch base, as a sort of a touchstone of this entire project of why am I doing this? What are my motivations? Well, for you, the motivations might be personal. It might be self-expression or perfecting your craft or just getting that story that's inside out. An opportunity for sharing a bit of your soul. Maybe it's financial. So you want to be financially independent. You want to be self-employed. Maybe it's lifestyle because you like the autonomy. Maybe it's community because you love the community. You want to be a part of it. You love interacting with it. You want to serve it. You want to serve the reader community with your stories, and you really love doing that. For me, though, it was impact, and so having an impact. Now, as a sci-fi writer, as a hard sci-fi writer, as a sort of techno thriller aspiring writer, the impact side of it's kind of a weird motivation to have, but that's exactly what it is for me. And that affects things because it affects what I will see as success versus not. So the more people that experience this story in whatever form, it might be ebook or print, it might be audio. So as the founder of Spoken, and AI audio and creating great quality audio is very important to me. But multimedia, interactive, and even film adaptation. Why not? And so we're gonna do all that together. But coming back today, 99 days left. It is motivations and impact. I want to share something with you. So what was my genesis here? This is the magazine that I picked up at O'Hare Airport on September 11th, 2001. And I was on a flight, a red-eye flight to Chicago, and then Chicago to Philadelphia. I landed between when the first tower and the second tower was hit. Easy day to remember, but it became very memorable for another reason as well. And that is Tim Folger, the great writer Tim Folger, wrote an article about quantum physics called Quantum Schmantum. And in that article, he put a sidebar. He put a little sidebar article, only 120 words long, called Shadow Play. And that is about Thomas Young's double slit experiment. But it's about the variation where if you release the photons one at a time, that pattern of light and dark bands that gets created, where you're thinking, oh yeah, wave particle duality, those photons go through and they cause the light and dark bands and they're interfering with each other. Au contraire, if you release them one at a time, they still build up that pattern. And so I read this little article and I'm like, and I'm like, I don't buy it. I'm skeptical. I'm not the first person to say this, by the way. Einstein was also skeptical. But that's what got me going on my theory of persistence, which we talked about last time. I'm not going to go into here, but staying true to myself, right? Remember who I am. getting the idea out, getting the impact out of this idea became a lot bigger because over the years, 24 years, I realized there were so many big implications, philosophical and spiritual, that I wanted to weave those in. And the only way to do that was in a great story. And I'm not a physicist anyway, so I wanted to write a great story around this. It took me a lot of years to figure out what that was, but I wanted to make sure that I was always true to that. And so today, motivations, that was mine. Just remember which one is yours. And when it's another day on, we're going to cover influences and being really true again to what those influences were and what really motivated you from other people's work. And so until then, this is the first check-in. That'll be the second. And let's go.